Hey, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. You are watching me make a complete mess of driving this thing third person, but that's completely okay. Today we are going to produce the most non-American. Oh my word! Well, this is the most non-American truck we can make, but right now I'm just making such a mess of this. Because it doesn't help the fact that I can't see a dang thing. Let's just try this view. Yeah, what a mess. We're gonna make the most shut your face Volvo. We're gonna make the most un-American truck that we can in American Truck Simulator, and we're gonna do some logging. So this is a Scott that we have brought down from Canada, eh? And we're gonna go ahead and give it a bit of refurbishment. If it's made in America, we don't want it installed. We're going to go ahead and install some non-American products and see how bad or how good it will truly be. So first things first, so far I would say that the part American truck has not been the best experience. Although maybe that's how I'm driving it. Right, so we're in Olympia. And go ahead and jump into here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do this. And shut it down. And let's jump into the workshop. Okay. Right. So we're going to suppose that we're going to take this thing logging. Let's attach the trailer to the view. So what have we got today? Well, we do have the Scott A2 HD. This is a Smarty's mod truck. It's free. I enjoy it. It's an interesting truck, but I like it. It's very basic in many ways, but that's perfect. Now we're going to suppose that we're going to take this thing logging, and we already have the 4-bolster trailer attached. Great. So we've got to make something terribly British, or not American, I would say, and there's going to be a bit of a British influence in here. That we can use for logging details. So first things first, we're going to make it a shorter truck. Looks like we've got the shortest available. Because that, big yawn, that's not going to help logging. We need something that's a bit more maneuverable. So we'll go ahead with the shortest chassis length. It's a day cab as well, which helps. Right, engine. I do have a British engine in the Steel Productions engine pack. That is the Rolls-Royce Eagle, and a variety of different specs. And she got a choice of 5, ranging from 260 to 340 horsepower. We're going to go with the middle one, I think. We're just going to go with the 305, smack bang in the middle of the range, 305 horsepower and 850 foot-pounds of torque. Now, I might regret that choice. Might want a bit more torque, but go with this one. This is the non-intercooled version, as I recall. The 320, 340 are intercooled. So actually, you know what? The Scott was built from 76 to 1980, so we'll go with the lower rated intercooled version. So 975 foot-pounds of torque and 320 horsepower. Quite a big upgrade in terms of torque. And it produces its boost a little bit lower down in the rev range, so it's a little easier to drive. Although when it comes to gearing, this thing is going to be super short geared. We're going to have the ability to haul lots of heavy cargo with this, so we're really going to want something that is definitely short. Now, I was thinking something along the lines of a 13 or a 15 speed, but let's see what transmissions come with the Scott A2 HD. Some 13 speeds, they're direct drive. Some 15s. Yes, we do. Wowzers. That's some 10 speed. That's configured an 8 low. We need a bit more torque capacity than this one though. We'll go with the 13 speed, I think. Yeah, it's rated. I think that means it's rated at 950. We're a bit above that, but it'll be fine. I mean, it's possibly going to go wrong. I think the 15 speed is potentially... I mean, you might argue that it makes more sense to have a 15 speed. But You don't need that much capacity. Well, know what we could do. Okay. Change of plan on the engine. We're going to go with the 340 version. We're going to suppose that we decided, yeah, we're going to have as much power as we can get. And that kind of means we can't use a 13-speed anymore. See what I did there? Sneaky, eh? So we're going to go with a 15-speed direct drive. Now, in terms of speed and power, this thing we're not going to expect to pretty much hit 65. I mean, it might do, but it's not really designed for highway cruising. So if we get to 65, that's going to be a bit of a rarity. And so with that in mind, we want to be looking at something like 2100 RPM is maybe 65 miles an hour. So I've got a little calculator here. It's not showing on the screen, but that pretty much means we need a 3.7 final drive, give or take. By my rather crude calculations, 65 is going to be roughly 2000 RPM, give or take. And I think that's probably what we'd have in mind. And we could go with something like a 488. Well, that would give me 488. Let's take a look. What have we got there? Yeah, we're going to be doing 52 miles an hour at the governor. We don't want to be doing that. So we're going to go with a 3.7 final drive. Okay. Right. So that's given me. Oh, wait a second. Eaton Fuller is American. So actually, we can't go with an Eaton Fuller. We've got to go with a different transmission. Okay. Eaton is American. I think I've got a ZF. Scania. Scania is Swedish, so that might be an option. So we have the Scania. I think I've got a ZF or a ZF in here. ZF, don't you know? Don't know whether Spice is American or not. Okay, got some ZFs. ZF gives me 16 speeds, I think, and it's also got 12 speed as well. Okay, so we went with a 16 speed and we went with the 3.7. I think that's probably a reasonable bet. I mean, I could go a slightly taller one here, 355, but I think a 16 speed with a direct drive is going to give me lots of ability to haul this thing up and down mountains, and that's kind of what we think we use it for. So let's go with a ZF transmission here, and just going to feed that in to my spreadsheet. 3.7 and like so. Okay, so we have a German transmission, we have a British engine, potentially English, but a British engine, and a Canadian truck. So that, I would say, is the core components are not American. So it's the least American truck I think I can get. Now, you can argue that a Volvo is potentially not that American, but those Volvo engines, the D11, D13s, they are made in America. So we want to try and avoid that. Well, we're going to go with an orange exterior, so I'll just keep this as it is. It's completely fine. Right, the exterior. I think I want it to match the trailer. So here's my favorite there. So let's match that. And I suppose, I wonder if we could change this. I quite like yellow for that sort of bottom stripe there, but maybe we might want to give that, we have the, yeah, we've got brighter yellow there. And this red color here, let's see if we've got a blue we can use. And then this other orange, got a slightly little watered down orange. That looks like it already had that color selected. We've got another one here. What have we got? Is that red or orange? That's red. That's orange. I think red might work. Red Thunder Red. No, that doesn't work. Was it like black? Nope. Not black either. All right, let's go with, oh, maybe white. Yep, that's good enough. That works for me. Okay. As we just go with a solid orange, but I think, yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Accessories. Well, It's going to be logging, so do I have a logging bumper? Heavy duty bumper, that might be good enough. Magnum 2-post moose bumper. I mean, potentially that one as well. I mean, moose bumper sounds Canadian. We'll go with the severe service bumper. What's that? Oh, that. Maybe. I don't have a winch, unfortunately, in the game. Let's go with the heavy duty. I might just go with that one. That's fine. Front banner, fog light. Headlights, we can have single or dual. We'll go with single. The grille. We don't have the UK flag, sadly. So I guess we'll just stick. We can have a fine grille. I mean, stuff's going to get thrown up, so I don't think a moose could fit through that grille. That'll work for me. Bug deflector, we don't need any of that nonsense. Front fender, we could give ourselves extenders, and who doesn't want a wide extender, if you know what I mean, but I don't really think that we need that. Right, the wheels, I'm going to stick with steel, but I'm going to change the I might use an alloy. Yeah, I might go with progressive painted alloys. I've had a bit of a progressive painted alloy thing going on recently. So the fact that I've made my trailer have alloys is, I guess, kind of hardcore. No, I don't want the wide. There we go. Okay, let's do that. Now, tyres. Well, we thankfully have some non-American tyres. So we've got Michelin's. That would sound French. Goodyear, I think, is American. So Michelin's and Continental, I suppose, arguably. But yeah, we'll go with the Michelin's. We'll go with the Z2s. It's very much a road-going tyre, though. And I think our thing would be a bit tough. So do we have? Oh, I can't use the heavy-duty tyres without the steels because I got to have the thicker front wheel. Let's see what the heavy-duty looks like on the back. No, we'll go with the road-going ones, and we'll do the 295/75s, just because can. And again, for that 295/75s, okay, close enough to what I'm looking for. All right, what have we got here? Steel or aluminium? Canadian steel. There we go. Battery box. Standard battery box is fine. I think most of this is just going to be the stock. It's not a glamorous build. We'll go steel. Am I good with the standard visor? Yes, I think we are. Yeah, I think pretty much where we're at right now is where we are, and I don't think we need to worry too much about anything else. So I want an air conditioner on the top, or a Vari shield. A Vari shield is a spoiler, so something like that, which might make a difference to line haul, but I think, let's suppose that we want to just keep the cabin cool, so these don't have a very good reputation. The little roof-mounted AC units, but we'll go with one. Okay, exhaust. I think we went. I don't really think I want particularly fancy exhaust pipes with this. I mean, it's a Rolls-Royce, don't you know? We don't do fancy. We just do efficiency. Tempted to go with a classy mud flap girl, but no, let's just not. Hey, Canada, that works. Although Scott as well. I'm probably more Scot than I am Canadian, so we'll do that. Okay. Right. So very rough and ready. That'll do for my build. Now, I know that the wetline kit is the hydraulic is used for something else, but as a proxy, what if we were to, so that's for hydraulic. Yeah, that is for hydraulics. It's actually given it. Interesting, right behind the exhaust pipe, you've got the little hydraulic attachment there. If this were a bit more of a tank, I would suppose that it's a water kit to splash water on the rear drums, but it's not, so we'll just go with the standard battery box after all. Okay. Side skirts. Oh, that's tank. Yeah, it's okay. I'll go with Scott front mud flaps. I think we are pretty much where we want to be. I don't know whether grotte. If I said they're grotte, then they sound French. But I don't know that grotte is American or otherwise, but I don't have a choice. I have to have grotte or I have to have grotte. So we'll actually go with the convex mirrors here. It might be useful. Okay, that's the truck largely done. Quick check on the interior. I do have other steering wheels, but I can't see the speedometer very well because the engine brake's tucked in front of it, so that'll do me. Right. That's the tractor done. Now let's check anything we want to change on the trailer. Log cage or log wall? I'm going to go with a cage. I think a cage is where we're at. And additional safety lights. I don't know why it seems to make it longer with this exclusive as opposed to standard, but okay. Oh, I see why. There's a bit that sticks out there. It doesn't stick out in exclusive. All right, let's just go with the standard. What's this? Rear mud flaps? Yep. Okay. And I suppose we'll do the tires. Oh, we actually already have the T2s, the 295, 75 T2s. Okay. Right. Well, I think we're good there. It's unlikely I've crashed this. Oh, look at that. Nearly a perfect bill of health. Right. Well, that's got my my Un-American, my Canadian, German, English truck all ready to do some work. So, let's embarrass myself by putting it to work. But first things first. Let's see what work have we got in the area. I may have to try. I will have to travel there to pick something up. But let's have a look. Utility poles. That works for me. Super short trip or a longer trip. We'll go with this one. Now I don't know how well this is going to pull it. I don't know. It's kind of a long trip. It's 300 miles. Yeah. Maybe I should choose a slightly shorter trick just in case. Nah, we'll do this one. It'll be fine. We'll just use our stiff upper lip. I think it's going to be a bit noisy though with that such short gearing. But hey, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll just drink more coffee on the road. Right, let's go ahead and select that job. Okay, and quick check that everything is where it should be. So my lights are lighting. What time is it? 9 o'clock on a Friday morning. Okay. Right, well let's make like a tree and get out of here. It's going to take a little bit of time for the transmission to hopefully get used to what on earth we're doing here today. Or maybe not. Let's check what gear I'm in. So I'm going to use this automated because it's going to be nearly impossible to shift manually. There's going to be a lot of gear changes, especially when I'm unladen. But we'll just watch what the gears are doing. So we're moving off in first gear. Okay. First to 8th. Good grief. Oh. Okay. Well, we are on the way. And this thing feels kind of perky. I mean, I'm not saying it's flying along, but yeah, it's picking up nicely. Well, all right. To be fair though, there's almost no weight on it. It's got a reasonable output. It's got super short gearing, and it's got almost no weight on the back. So it's going to be bouncy, it's going to be performance. So America's best invention for civilization is turning right on a red. Again, it's whipsawing terribly. By whipsawing, what it's doing is it's going from first to fourth to first to fourth. It's a horrible experience. And I work extremely hard to remove that from all my engines, to be fair. But if the gearing is super short and or the engine's really not very powerful, it's very hard to eliminate it. Okay, so I've got my cruise on, I guess to 55. But yeah, we just not cruise off there because we apparently should be sticking to 30 miles an hour down this icy way, down this section. So, well, I would say we're almost over braked as well. We kind of like squeezed the brake pedal and stopped. Right, well, I guess Rolls-Royce for the win. So the limit drops to 25 down here. Wow. Let's ease off completely and just gradually roll to a stop.
Go straight.
A little bit of service brake. So I'm expecting this thing to perform with, you know, nearly 58,000 pounds worth of utility poles behind me. Well, I mean, one, if we have to stop making a phone call, we can build our own telephone line, so that's very useful. Two, I got quite a lot of power relative to the gearing that I've got, so I don't think we're going to have a big issue with things like hills and stuff. Where I suspect we're going to just struggle a little bit is it's going to be noisy. Like super noisy on the interstate. Now, this combination's not really made for this kind of trip. If you wanted to do a lot of highway use, cheeky yellow pickup. If you want to do a lot of highway use, you wouldn't be using 3.7 final with direct drive because that's just thousands of revs. That's like middle gear for a modern truck, and you're in top gear. And in 16th, no less. So, I mean, we've got dozens of gears. Okay, 1.25 dozen gears between sort of 0 and I'm guessing about 45 miles an hour. Well, we'll find out. So, lots and lots and lots of gears to choose from. And it's no wonder the thing is whipsawing a little bit. But as it settles down, and we're already seeing this, as it settles down, it will get a lot more comfortable shifting gear. It takes a bit of time to figure out what on earth. I mean, why are you doing what you're doing, for one? And also, a lot on a right throttle, it's. I mean, going from first to fourth with just a few miles an hour speed, yeah, it's going to struggle a little bit. Okay. So, what I'll do is I'm going to pause the recording. I'm going to head to the yard, and then when we're at the yard, we'll grab the cargo, and I'll be right back. And we're back, and I would like to say that this was completely painless and there was no issue getting into the spot whatsoever, and there absolutely was not a train right there blocking entry and exit into the yard. So I got an issue here. There's a train blocking the way. Oops, take my parking brake off. So I'm going to go ahead and just move off to see how terrible it is with all this cargo behind me. But I can't go anywhere because this thing is in the way. And even worse, I'm going to struggle to make this this on time. So I'm going to go ahead and, I guess for want of a better expression, I'm going to go ahead and cheat. So we're going to use the teleport command. If you've got the console enabled, push 0 on the keyboard, not on the number keypad, and then use the number keypad to move around. So sort of 4, 8, 6 and 3 forwards, backwards, left and right. And then you got your 9 and your 3 to raise or lower. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
That's fine.
Because that train has been blocking access there for a long time. Right. Empty. Turn that off. Okay. Let's be on our way. So, first things first, we can move off fairly easily, and we're still going first to 4th gear. That's impressive. But I guess with gearing this short, I mean, would you really need all those extra gears? I've got a lot of cargo behind me, and yes, I do have 340 horsepower at my chuff, but still, that's impressive going. So here's what I'm expecting from this trip. I don't think we're going to have a real issue with hills. I don't think we're going to have too big an issue with things like, you know, moving off and climbing hills. I think we'll get up them. We might have to drop a number of gears, but we're going to get up them. The hardest thing we're going to have is we're not going to be able to just hoof along at 70 miles an hour because our governor is going to be a little over 65. And we're going to feel that. Now, as we start to get on the move, the lack of power and especially torque is going to become more and more apparent. So, floating around at slower speeds, you don't really benefit that much from having 400 horsepower.
Right.
You do at 55 miles an hour, very much so. So, with having 340, it's the most powerful Rolls-Royce Eagle engine that I've built in the game. There were more powerful versions available, I just haven't included them. So, I don't think we're going to be wanting as much as we certainly could be. I mean, it's 100 horsepower over the Mac R with 237 horsepower. Well, 3 horsepower if you want to be technical, but still. And I've done trips with a 5-speed on that, so I don't think this is going to be any great shakes. But like now, I'm doing 12 miles an hour, and I'm in, it's an 8th gear. So I know we've not shifted sort of 9 times, but our driver's been kept busy, very busy. And I think it's a male driver. Yes, so his right arm is going to be beefy because he's got to be changing gear the whole time. Now this is just a single stick. There are you can get mods that give you a dual stick. So just a single stick. Dual stick transmissions can be a lot of fun. I mean, you could use 2 hands for those if you really felt like it. But and now I'm going to settle back and enjoy the ride. So again, moving off, not a great shake. I mean, going through lots and lots of gears, but we know that that's the case. Another red light, that's always good. That was sarcasm.
Go straight.
Let's just try and roll up. Hey, the light's gone to green. Okay, that helps. Back on the power. So it's revving up to about 1750 RPM, but we're already in 12th gear, so I'm going to kill power, I think. We need to be in the left-hand lane up here, I think. I don't... Oh, no we don't. We've got to merge right, so we'll actually do that now. Hey, there we go. Okay, full power. Off we go. And we are going, but very slowly. So, is this better than a Cummins? Jury's out. I guess a 350 horsepower Cummins you would think would be comparable to this, give or take. It might be a little heavier on fuel because it's slightly bigger, but it might feel a bit more performant. Well, the 350 will. 365 definitely will. It's got lots more torque. It's 16th gear at 43 miles an hour, so we're now in top gear. So you've got 16 gears between basically 0 to 43. That's not bad going. A lot of gear changes. Right, I'm going to go ahead and activate my cruise control now that we've just crested 50 miles an hour. Told it to get me up to 65, and I'm disable that display right there. I don't need to see what gear I'm in. I know I'm in top gear. And try and keep it pointing in the right direction between the yellow, between the dotted lines. Let's see how well that goes. Yeah, it doesn't really feel wanting right now. Yes, I mean the acceleration is not exactly great. What we're doing, 57, but I mean, hey. It can't be burning much fuel because it's not got much power to burn fuel with. I'm going to take a sip of coffee whilst we wait for this thing to get up to speed. And there we are. We're at cruise at 1900 RPM. And a little bit of jitter from the game. Quite a lot of jitter from the game there, to be fair. Okay, well, I mean, this is kind of noisy but relaxing. And we've got a bypass, because we don't look suspicious. That's actually pretty good going, to be fair. I won't be surprised if we get pulled over and they're like, where are you from, Sonny? I'll be like, I'm just like, y'all, I'm from Texas, yar. I think they'll be convinced. Okay, here's my exit.
Exit right. Keep right.
Well, we're actually managing to keep it shiny side up so far, which I'm very happy about, despite careening around these corners at breakneck speed. Now we might take a few miles to get back up to 60 miles an hour, but that's okay. Go ahead and merge left here from this yellow car. There we go. 55, so we're still on our way to 60. That might be a bit of a recurring trend in today's drive. Spending a lot of time getting back up to cruise speed. Then it'll be okay if that's what happens. Now, where's my fuel gauge? I see it. It's the rightmost gauge, and I'm just over half a tank. I don't think this is going to be the most efficient, but 283 miles to go. I don't know how efficient it's going to be. I think at 1900 revs it's going to be guzzling fuel, but I might see 5 miles per gallon, or maybe 4, which is quite possibly period accurate. And if I see 5 miles per gallon, how much fuel's left in the tank, I don't know. I don't know how big the tank is, I forget. I wasn't paying attention, it's more accurate. Keep it pegged at 60. Okay, we have to slow down. Yeah, that's a little tight. Bit of engine brake, if you please. It's downshift. Helps. Okay, so let's just coast along and then back on the power, back up to 60. Steering, David. Like in the lane, if you please. Kind of missing those front fender mirrors, but alright. Now, this looks like it's going to be getting a little hilly, and so this is where we're going to be very appreciative that we went with the top spec Rolls-Royce Eagle engine as opposed to, you know, cheaped out on the 305 850, because I think you come to a hill like this, that extra power is very noticeable. I suppose I should really do the two side by side just to show you what I mean, but it's going to make a difference. Right now, though, it doesn't look like it's a gradient. We're still accelerating, so I'm pleased with that. That looks like it's turning uphill. So we'll find out. Yeah, definitely going uphill. We've lost 5 miles an hour. Let's slip her down a gear. Down another gear, I think. Oh, we're losing a bunch of speed now. But we are still going up the hill, and down another gear. Okay, so I dropped down to 13th briefly, and then it was happy with that, and it's now going to go back up through the gears. I don't think I needed necessarily to shift down. You've got a shift hint command that I've mapped to one of my controller buttons, and that can be very useful, because sometimes you want to preemptively tell the automated box just to shift up or shift down, typically shift down because you're coming up to a gradient. And it's not the same as a hard shift. It doesn't force it to change gear, but it more like encourages it. And there are some passenger cars that have this feature. I've only ever known of or experienced it in a Mercedes-Benz, where you could sort of, I suggest you use the next gear, and it would sometimes do it, and sometimes be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You get on with steering, I'll get on with going. But thankfully in this case, it did what I wanted it to do. It changed down. Lost a bunch of speed, but it changed down. Alright, let's have a little conversation when we have to pull over and get ourselves inspected. Okay, so a little bit of service brake here. Got a bit more service brake. Yeah, I had to use a lot of service brake there. So that's where, with the heavy cargo, you notice not having the most efficient engine brake, let's just say. And the engine brake on the Rolls-Royce Eagle is, I mean, it's an engine brake, but it's nothing special. Some engines have a great reputation for engine brake. I think the Detroit Diesel Series 60 has a good reputation for one. And the MBE 4000 does as well, is turbo brake. £76,000. Yeah, we're asking a lot for quite a wheelie engine. Right, we got 4 hours of driving. We have an hour and 40 minutes sort of in the bag of spare time, so we're losing a little bit of time, but I expected us to, because it takes so long to get up to speed. So we're going to give it another full power acceleration. Can you tell? Probably not. But I mean, we are getting up to speed. That's tapped resume on my cruise control, so we'll let it get it up to speed. And I mean, actually, all said and done, it's doing all right. Just a little pedestrian. Just a lot pedestrian, but might squeeze the cruise up to 65. I think it's gonna, well, it might make a small difference to how long it takes, but we will be seeing a few more revs, and that's kind of gonna hurt fuel consumption. But all right, so that's 60. And that's 1900 revs. Let's pump up to 65. So I think she should be able to do this, just not that much quicker. Let's check the speed there. So 62, 63. Wow. 64, 2000 RPM. Just a little longer, Doug. Come on, we're just gonna get there. We go, 65. Now we're gonna start to cruise. There we go. I heard the turbo come off just a little. Hey, we're cruising 65. Let's get back down to 60. That does not look that comfortable, seeing the rev counter just over 2000 RPM. But I mean, we got up to speed just fine. It's just, I wouldn't really, back in the day you did cruise at the governor. Your governor was your cruise control, but we're not back in the day now. We're in the year 2025 in a 50-year-old truck that 49 years old, but hey, who's going to quibble with 50-year-old engine design? And here we are hauling 47,585 pounds of utility poles. I would say this is something of the ultimate form of recycling. We're reusing an old engine, I suppose. yeah, we're trucking along now. Oh, that was a little fast. That was a lot fast. That was a little foolish. So I didn't look left. I was too busy trying to keep it pointing in the right direction. But we were getting close to falling over there. I mean, we're going to keep it pegged because we're Canadian, German, British, don't you know? We run with the bulls. Well, that'd be the Spanish, but whatever. We run with the mooses, or the elks. With the British lion, with the German... I don't know, what are the Germans? Bulls? I don't know. But we are, and therefore we came, we stamped upon the natives, and we... Oh, no, wait. Let's maybe not go there. Oh, now this hill. I remember this hill. Right. I'm not going to suggest it changes down. We're just going to let it figure it out for itself. And because I think when I changed down last time, I should have maybe changed down a couple of gears. And that's hard to do with the way I've got my controller set up. Right, it changed down just one. And see, I think the rev should be a little higher. Well, what do I know? Because look, it's more or less holding on to 30... Okay. It was holding on to 37. We've only dropped a few miles an hour since... And we've only dropped one gear. I mean, all said and done, that's climbed the hill a plumb. I mean, it's not... That's way better than I expected. On the other hand... Lots of revs, and back up to cruise, eventually. But this downhill stretch is going to help a lot. It's going to go. Yawning away as I make this recording. I mean, I'm recording this video on a Monday. The video will not go live on a Monday, at least I don't think it will. But wow, it's not even that late in the evening, but here I am yawning away. It might be because I haven't had to talk to anyone for a while and I just jumped on and made a video. That could be why. A yawn is a silent scream, so who's to say? Perhaps I don't want to be experiencing this kind of sluggish but British engine beast. And I really can't fault the individual components that we've used. Having lots and lots and lots of gears, we've not put them to good use because we haven't done any off-roading, but if we were going to be doing some off-roading or some climbing a hill to deliver some logs, which we'll not be doing, but if we were, I think this transmission would really come into its own. But we could probably get by with just a 6-speed or maybe even a 5. Engine-wise, yeah, I mean it's been completely fine. We really don't have a complaint. It does not have that much power or that much torque. So just to remind you, 340 horsepower and 1035 foot-pounds of torque. So not a lot of torque either. But the automated transmission has more or less kept it spinning where it needs to be. Now another hill that we're coming up to, I'm confident it's going to just take care of it. I'm not even going to preempt it by accelerating at the bottom of the hill just to get the truck used to gaining speed. We'll let it lug itself up the hill and it'll shift down if it needs to. And it didn't shift down. It did lose 10 or 11 miles an hour of speed, but it did not shift down. That's kind of impressive. Get off the rumble strip, David. I'm going to turn my headlights on, I think. They're turned on. I can't tell if they're turned on or not. But I need to just watch what's happening here because of this intersection here on the right. Just clumsily steer all over the place. It's not signaling left, so I think we're good. Okay, I mean, yeah. Let's see how noisy we are when we open the windows. Is this a stupid thing to do? Yeah, let's just do it anyway. Yep, it's noisier. I don't think it's particularly unpleasant with this engine spinning over at 1900 revs. I mean, it's noisy, but it's not the noisiest. Are you slowing down? Oh, why is everyone slowing down? That's why. Bullet's eye. They pull over a convertible. Okay. Well, the hood's down, so there must have been someone that's not the most attractive that they were pulling over for not being the prettiest in their convertible. But I always think on a sunny day and you've got the hood up, you should be pulled over for not having your convertible hood down. Because, I mean, you bought a convertible, get the wind in your hair, right? Maybe they burn really easily. I can relate to that. I burn really easily myself, but still. Just 36 miles left to go. We have just cracked on this trip. It has, I want to say it's been better than I thought. It's been better than I hoped. The hills we've reached, it's climbed them way better than I thought it would. In fact, its performance has been better than I dared hope. Now, I dare say, if we'd gone with the 305 horsepower, 850 foot-pound of torque, it might be a little different, but as it stands, this has been quite an agreeable combination. I think I could use this longer term, and I may well. This non-American truck in American Truck Simulator is not as hopeless as I thought it would be. I thought this thing would just be terrible. I mean, do we want to use a French engine next? Yeah, no, we don't want to use a French engine next. I mean, we could try. Are there any French semi-engines? Not in the Steel Productions engine pack, and not yet. Now, there are some Renault engines, but the Renault engines I've got are essentially badge-engineered Volvo or Mack engines. Or they just use the Mack engines. So, they're not really Renault engines as such. I mean, they have a Renault badge, but they're not Renault engines. So, I don't even have any. I think that's something I should at least look to address. I mean, surely I can find a French heavy-duty engine that survived long enough to be dynoed and approved by engineers. Surely. Well, I mean, I'm saying surely, but perhaps not. I don't know. I'm sort of like, yes, there must be somewhere. I lost all my speed because this guy pulled in front of me, and now I'll turn off soon anyway. It's okay, but yeah. Okay, we will kill our power here. So fuel consumption from the trip, I think, will have been pretty bad. I'm thinking between 4 to 5 miles per gallon, and that's Not really based on anything other than that's typically what the trucks of the era tended to do. Now, we might have gotten worse, but I really have no judge. I don't know. I don't have enough experience with this combination. In fact, this engine really on this kind of gearing. Not with this level of cargo. So I'm hoping for 5. I think it might be closer to 4. Less than 4, I would be thinking, yeah, we undergeared the truck. More than 5, and there's probably something wrong with my engine definition. So that's what I'm thinking. Right, oh, come on. Yeah, so it's like so many revs, so few miles an hour. Come on. Impeding everyone. It's like it takes us 40 seconds to get up to 12 miles an hour. That's not really good performance. The Italians had the right idea in the 1980s. They specified a minimum power output for certain weight trucks, and a lot of manufacturers were like, "Oh, we better uprate our engines then, so they're more powerful." And so the Italian heavy-duty market was coloured by this. You see Italian versions of engines that are go faster versions. Now, of course, we're not in Italy, and I don't think the Scott was ever sold in Italy. Or it wasn't approved for Italian use, but I mean, it could be. Surely, how hard could that be? Okay. Lots of gear changes, and here's my job site. I wonder how easy it is to maneuver this trailer into whatever wonderful example of how to park they've got lined up for me. Bad feeling about this. It's probably just backing it up to a spot to the right, maybe next to that digger, maybe, I don't know.
Here we are.
Okay, let's see, what have you got for me? That's not bad. We'll go ahead and try this. I mean, I think I can manage this. Right? I mean, that doesn't look too difficult. Famous last words, maybe. I think I can make my life easy. I can actually pull all the way around and then just like line up in front of it. So we'll go ahead and try that. Right. Round. We may even try this in the cabin. Does seem like a recipe for disaster though, but we might. We've 19 turns lock to lock. Okay. So I want to go. Let's go ahead and open the window there. She steered the right direction there for a change. Right, almost lining up. Let's go ahead and use the mirror. I'm disorientated now, so it shouldn't be that difficult for me to do, but yeah, I managed to mess it up completely. I'm out of practice, you see. Okay, let's try and correct it. There we go, yep. Lined up. That's probably lined up more or less as it needs to be. Let's go ahead and start to straighten things up. Quick check over the shoulder. Yep, that's, well, maybe good. Hard to tell. It wouldn't be parking unless I was wiggling around all over the place, right? Hey, look at that. Alright, I reckon that is... Oh, I can actually go back a little bit more. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. That's the first time I have done a maneuver like that in the cabin in a long time. Certainly on camera. Right, let's see how well we did. So, 341 miles. Okay, and we burnt 71 just about gallons of fuel. Well, thank goodness that's about 4 3/4. It's a little less than 5. So we're actually bang on where I hoped I would be in terms of fuel consumption, and that is good news. It means that I've got a good feel for how well this should do, and two, the engine's doing what I think it should do. Now, if you have an opinion on this, if you think that I should have burnt way more or way less fuel, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But I'm very happy with that run. That went way better than I hoped. So, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed that too. And let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you the next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much. Goodbye.